We have, of course, Major Mohammad Shah, defense expert, joining us on the broadcast. Morning, sir. Thank you for joining us on NewsX. What do you make of the civil strife and unrest which has taken place in Sri Lanka? Certainly, any sort of unrest, any sort of violence which takes place in Sri Lanka is a grave matter of concern for India as well, considering it's literally in our backyard.
Absolutely, Meenakshi. You know, it's very, very sad and tragic to see the sad state of affairs that's happening in Sri Lanka right now. And Sri Lanka has been a friend of ours. But yes, this kind of, because it got suffocating for people to live over there. For example, a small little example I'll give you, like sugar. A simple thing like sugar became so expensive, it became beyond reach. And that is something which, a simple thing, requirement for a day-to-day life. That led to violence, that led to arson, that led to attacks on Rajapaksa's family, and they had to shift from there. That led to people taking lives on peaceful protesters. Also there was violence on peaceful protesters. So it has been a very, very difficult time, but that is exactly what happens when you actually make friends with a snake actually. They made, Sri Lanka made friends with China, and they couldn't repay back their loan. So China took their port on 99-year-old lease, and it's with them. And now when they cannot repay the loans, they are in debt and they are in a very bad trap. And what will the change of government also do? They cannot work, miracles happen overnight. But yes, at the same time, when there was a time when 26 ministers had resigned overnight, at that time the Rajapaksa brothers should have gone gracefully and they should have said, okay, yes, we accept our failure. But now it wasn't the time to play blame game because of who, what, how it happened. The time was to firefight. The time was to actually rectify what the damage that had been done in Sri Lanka. There were experts, there were analysts who were saying that Sri Lanka would not be able to come out of this debt forever, and there were jokes going on where Elon Musk is buying Twitter, that he can spend that much money to actually bail Sri Lanka out, same amount of money. But now, you know, I say one thing, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, after the bombings in Japan, the atomic bombings by US after Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, Hiroshima, Nagasaki rose from the ashes. Japan rose from the ashes, and we can see where they are today. So if they can come out of it, I think there's nothing impossible. Everyone can come out of it. Unless it's an incorrigible country like Pakistan. Pakistan is ultimately going to be meeting a worse fate. And I'm sure they've seen it. They've foreseen it happen. Now Sri Lanka, how do they come out of it? India gave a lot of aid, a lot of help, $2.8 billion in February and March. India's helping Sri Lanka. All the international community is with Sri Lanka. They are helping them out. But who will come out to bail Pakistan at the end of the day? So yes, now the Rajapaksa brothers are in trouble. The government there is in trouble. The opposition is asking for their arrest because they have incited violence of the people who have been killed. The opposition is right in saying that yes, and though opposition of any country, their job is to oppose the current government in any country. But here they have a point. Here they are not being unreasonable, the opposition over there, because it is ultimately the unrest in Sri Lanka that we are seeing today. You know, a simple paracetamol, a simple tablet is not available in Sri Lanka. It has gone so badly down underground, underwater, I don't know what to say.
Yes.
And Sri Lanka, not far back, just before the pandemic, it was one of the most sought after tourist destinations. People were going there to holiday, to lounge around. And that is the state of Sri Lanka. So now only way is, yes, only way is the international community has to come forward and they have to help out Sri Lanka with this mess at any cost, Meenakshi.
Well, absolutely, the international community has to come together and help Sri Lanka. India, of course, has been taking the lead. End of the day, empathies and sympathies with the people of Sri Lanka, but violence not justified. Thank you, sir, for joining us on the broadcast.